Hi everyone, it's Martina, your friendly neighborhood Caucasian lady. Today I want to talk about Vietnamese food and how to eat pho, or how you should say it, pho.
Pho.
If you're having a hard time remembering that, I don't blame you. It's spelled P-H-O, and we're actually using an English pronunciation of a word that's in Vietnamese that I'm not going to pronounce properly either because I've never spoken Vietnamese. But there's an easy way for you to remember it. Just imagine this scenario. Pho. I'm having pho for dinner tonight. Oh, nice. Yep, Vietnamese food. I'm gonna be ordering from my OG shop. I've been going there since I was like in high school. It's called Pho 99. I am not, it's right there, you guys. Okay, that's what it looks like. So Pho 99 if you want to. It's located in Mississauga, represent. It's part of a city that's around the GTA. Since Toronto is still being affected by Cold-a-mort, it's been quite some time, I'm going to order delivery pho, which actually is kind of cool because they come all disassembled and I can show you how to assemble it, what you're eating, and then once things open up, you'll be able to go to a Vietnamese restaurant and eat pho the right way. So I've already put my order in, it's on the way. I'm gonna go make a cup of coffee because I'm tired. Food has arrived and it's come packaged in different containers so that you can assemble it. First you've got the broth, and inside of it you can see floating are those little kind of balls. Those are beef balls. I ordered them as part of my meal, but you don't have to. Beef balls are basically like a Vietnamese meatball. It's ground beef and they might add a little bit of pork in there. You can tell the difference between a beef ball and a fish ball because fish balls tend to be more like a white color, but beef balls have a little bit of that light brown color to them. You're also gonna get this little confusing bag of things, which I'll explain. And then separately packed are the noodles, the beef, and the toppings. Now, this is important because my beef in the back here is actually raw and the noodles underneath are already cooked. So we gotta put it all together without it overcooking. If it came inside of the soup, it would have been extremely soggy and bloated. Let us assemble, for sure. Also, I ordered spring rolls, which are unrelated to the video right now, but Vietnamese spring rolls are amazing. Pho 99. A Vietnamese spring roll should be really, really crispy on the outside. You can tell it's been fried properly because of all this spiky stuff here. If you throw something into hot oil at the correct temperature, it kind of spikes upwards, and you'll see that on really good Japanese tempura as well. And also the inside has like a ground meat on the inside that's almost like a pate. It's got julienne carrots. Sometimes it has noodles inside of it. Yum. Oh, it would be a sin for this to get cold, you know? Okay, I separated everything for you so we can take a look at the components. So first off, we have the toppings. So we've got this sweet Thai basil, which you're not gonna be cooking. You're gonna add it at the end and it's gonna be bombastically important for the flavor. And Thai basil is more on like the sweet side. I don't really know how to explain it until you actually just try it, but I literally just love smelling this. Ooh, so good. We've got bean sprouts over here. I also love just eating these by the handful. Oh yeah, and we've got some pieces of lime. These are all gonna be for toppings that you add on according to preference. I suggest using all of this, but we'll get around to that. Over here, we've got two kinds of onions, white and purple, and cilantro. We have rice noodles, which have been pre-cooked and they are ready to go. They just need to be warmed. We have raw beef, which I requested it to be raw. And we have a cooked brisket over here. And also this is sriracha hot sauce mixed with a bit of hoisin sauce. And of course, the most critical, we have the broth with the beef balls floating around in it. Step one, we're gonna warm the broth up again. We're gonna do this so that the beef will actually cook the way that we want it to. If you go to a Vietnamese restaurant, sometimes you'll get raw beef served, and then you have broth. Think of it like shabu shabu. So people enjoy eating it more rare or medium rare. They actually have an option when you order it raw, which is what I did. So I can cook it to my preference, which will probably somehow end up overcooking. While you're waiting for your broth to heat up, grab yourself a nice deep bowl, a spoon, chopsticks. Everything's gonna cook very quickly, so this isn't gonna be a long process. You can see the noodles are kind of stuck in a chunk right now, but don't worry, they're gonna separate. Just gently kind of poke it around, separate it a little bit, and you're gonna see that it comes apart beautifully. Next up, the raw beef. You can see how quickly it starts cooking. The color's turning pink super fast. Look at how quickly the raw beef has already cooked. I'm gonna kill the heat because I don't need this to be any hotter than it is right now. I'm gonna add in the brisket. This is gonna be good for sure. We've added the bean sprouts, we've added the cilantro, the onions, the beef is cooked. It's actually probably overcooked at this point. We are going to add the sweet Thai basil. Now you do not wanna add this when it's cooking or it will actually turn black. It bruises pretty easily. Take a couple sprigs off. I like to give them a couple of spankings. It helps release the oil. I also like to keep this and plant it in water and then let it propagate. Is that the word? I have like so many things propagating on my windowsill. But I do think that not having this particular basil in your pho just tastes very different. So I like to take a few pieces like this. You can just toss them in. I'm going to spank the basil. Hiya! And I'm gonna toss it in. Give everything a really good mix up, like go from underneath to above so you kind of mix all the stuff together. Oh yeah. Ooh, smells so good. Oh my gosh. Some of you might be tempted to take this hoisin sauce and hot sauce combo and just jump it on in there, but that would be a bit of a faux pas. The first thing you want to do is actually just try the broth, appreciate it. Pho is made usually with beef bones or tendons and joints. And the broth is so delicious and flavorful. The spices that they put in, depending on what part of Vietnam they are from, like north and south have different flavors. It's gonna be kind of like a cinnamon flavor in there. You might have some star anise in there. It's like a sweet and savory at the same time. It is so freaking delicious. And I know that this place is legit when it comes to their beef broth because when I keep it overnight, like if I don't finish all my pho and I separate it, the broth actually turns to jelly, which is a great sign because it means it's been cooked properly. The collagen and the tendons and everything have broken down, and that's actually really good for you. If it tastes like extremely salty and afterwards you find yourself extremely thirsty, that might be more of like a powdered flavored type of broth. You really want something that is actually made from beef bones. So what do you do with the hoisin and hot sauce if you're not gonna dump it on in? Well, you can put it on the side and you can use it to dip your beef in if you'd like. So this is the rare beef. Just gonna give it a little bit of a dip in there. The hoisin sauce is a little bit sweet. The hot sauce is a little bit spicy, gives it a nice little kick. What about everything else in here? Well, the brisket is fall apart magical because it actually has a couple of pieces of fat kind of holding it together. So it's super soft and tender. Filming these videos can be torture sometimes. I need to eat something. Oh man, so nice. The rice noodles are fantastically soft. They're not overcooked and soggy because they didn't deliver them inside the broth, which would be horrible. And you've got that herbal taste from the broth, a little bit of sweetness from the lime. The basil is actually seeping into the broth. Seeping or steeping? Which one is it? The bean sprouts. The bean sprouts are adding a nice little crunch, and actually, I'm gonna add some more bean sprouts because I think this has been cooked a little bit. Just toss in a little bit more for crunch and texture on top of it. Beef ball, eh? When I was in my childish high school years, I thought this might have literally been a beef ball, as in a beef testicle, which we all know people do actually eat. No problem in that. This is not, it is a meatball. Sometimes they do put a little piece of tendon inside of there to give it a bit of a moistness and a little bit of a texture on the inside. Don't be startled with cultures using an entire part of an animal. Like if you're going to use an animal, I would appreciate people using all the parts and not just the parts that they think are pretty or nice. When I went to Vietnam, Simon and I went to Da Nang, and the pho that we had for breakfast was unbelievable. It had like such a strong cinnamony taste to it. Oh, I had it every day. I had it as much as I possibly can. And like the street food, you know, or going to like a restaurant to eat it, it's not a big deal. You know, like here it might feel a little bit confusing or I don't know what to do, but it's really just like a very basic comfort food, like a breakfast food even in Vietnam. So don't be worried or shy to go to these restaurants once they finally open. Now, in the scenario that you cannot finish your pho, you want to separate the noodles from the broth so they don't get all bloated and soggy. So this is usually how I store it. Just pass it through a strainer. And back from whence it came. Shaboom blam. Then I just store the toppings separately so that later on I can add some more crunchy toppings on top of it. And I'm already got my basil, which I'm casually propagating. Probably my dinner tonight, to be honest. And there you have it. How to eat delivery pho Vietnamese magic soup. I really recommend you try it if you haven't before. If you've had ramen and you like it, if you've had Korean jjigae and you like it, you need to try all the different soups of the different nations. If you're Vietnamese and you're watching this video, please let me know if I've done something horribly wrong or if you have any advice to give people who haven't tried pho before. And I'm pretty sure it's more like pho, not straight across, but again, I do not speak Vietnamese, but I hope that was close. Check out King Kogi on Instagram. That is my personal account. I also have a YouTube page. I know you're watching a video right now, but I have my own King Kogi YouTube page where I'll be putting up different types of stuff. I make strange music. Please check it out and yeah, see if you like that as well.